All right. Good morning. Good morning. So, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go over an overview of the program and just some reminders and tips and things to make this as efficient as possible. I'm going to make this as quick as possible, but sometimes I go on my little tangents, so I apologize ahead of time. So, moving myself down here in the corner so we can see everything. Um, so first things first, this is my phone number, okay, right here at the top, and this is my email address, okay. For your response guarantee, these are going to be the ones that you reach out to. Um, Preferably the phone number is what the response guarantee is going to be for. If you send us an email, there's a chance that we might miss it. So please call or text us. All right. But this is your official welcome to the dog school family. Like I said, this is like an overview, some reminders and tips. So, one thing I want you to know is this is not just me and the trainers that I have at your disposal. Okay. I have over 10 years of experience working with dogs now, as of the recording of this video. But if there's something that stumps me or something I can't figure out, I have connections that have been working with dogs twice as long or longer than I have. So I have a network behind me that can help us work through different things if there's something that we just can't figure out here. Okay. Or if you have specific questions that you need answered and we don't know, we can always reach out. And typically within a couple days, we can give you get back to you. Now, even with that, okay, your dog might be coming here and working with us 4 days a week and learning everything and getting really good at stuff. But we still need your help. Like, you still need to put in the work yourself, because I can train the dog how to do the things that are needed to be done, but I can't teach them to listen to you as the owner. Okay. So we're going to give them the knowledge and the how to, and then we're going to teach you how to implement it, so that we kind of take the two-part equation, you and the dog. We teach the dog, and the dog gets really good, and we teach you and get you really good. Put those together, and bada boom, bada bing, you have a formula for the life of you and your dog. So during the school days, when the dog is here, just do like one session with them, 5-10 minutes on school days. And then Friday through Sunday, spend about 20-30 minutes working on them. Okay. And all you have to do is what we're teaching you in the videos, and what we do in the one-on-ones. Just keep doing that stuff. And we'll slowly build each week. We'll start building things. Okay. This is going to take what the dog knows and what you know and put them together. So bada boom, bada bing, you get what you're needing. Now, each week we start with foundations, and we build on top of those each week. Okay. So we're not taking your dog from 0 to 100 day one. We take them little by little until we get them as close to 100 as we can. Okay. We always start with the positive reinforcement stuff and the least amount of pressure as possible, to get them to do what we need them to do. And I promise you, we're always trying to use the least amount of pressure, whether it be during a correction or an outburst or lunging. We're always trying to use the least amount of pressure to get them to stop, least amount of pressure to get them motivated to do what we want them to do. But sometimes, especially if they're lashing out and we miss the timing, we have to use big numbers. Okay. Don't let the numbers scare you. We just have to pay attention with the dogs and make sure we're getting ahead of it before it explodes and escalates. That'll be another video. I can kind of explain a little more. So the big thing here when it comes to training is to stay patient. Okay. Though this is a 4-week program, 6-week program, depending on which dog school program you're on, this is still a short amount of time for the life of your dog. So we're going to go through a lot of stuff, and we're trying to break it down as slowly and daily as possible for you. But you guys are learning a new language. The dog's learning a new language, and we need to get everybody on the same page. So give yourself some grace. Even after 10 years of working with dogs, I still mess up. Okay, my trainers do still mess up. Like, we're human. We're not perfect. But give yourself some grace. This is not your expertise. This is not what you've been doing for 10 years. You're going to mess up, and that's okay. It's not going to ruin your dog. It's not going to ruin your relationship. Give yourself some grace. Give your dog some grace. And in the end, everybody's going to understand and everybody's going to be good. Okay. When we do training, when we do our one-on-ones, let's get as many people involved that's going to be in your dog's daily life. So you, your spouse, kids, the dog walker, neighbors, anybody that's frequently going to be with your dog, have them be involved as much as possible. And then as all of this goes, you as the owner remain calm, but at the same time, don't take no for an answer. The more you take no for an answer, meaning I tell my dog to place and they decide to go around the corner and go eat their food, and then I go, fine, whatever. The more that scenario happens, the more your dog does not believe you when you tell them what to do. Okay. Whether it be that they don't believe you because you're not reinforcing it, it doesn't matter the reason. If we tell the dog to do something, we have to make sure they do it. That way they learn, like, okay, they are in charge. They make the rules. If I just do what they say, life becomes way easier. Okay. So don't take no for an answer. This is how we make things clear and as easy as possible for you, mainly, but also easy for your dog. Okay. Now, check the time. Week 1 is mainly going to be teaching your dog what to do. Okay. We use leash pressure. We're doing mainly everything on leash, teaching them to go over here, go over there, do this, do that. Okay. By teaching them what the pressure is on the leash and on the collar, it makes the transition to the e-collar so much easier. Okay. So week 1 is really building those foundations. Week 2, it kind of depends on your dog. Week 2, we may jump into using the e-collar. We may not. It just kind of depends. But a lot of times, majority of the time, we're able to start using the e-collar the way we like to use it in week 2. Okay. Now, again, we have to start week 1 over again, basically, but teaching them a new sensation on the neck. Okay. How we use the e-collar. We say the command, and then we immediately hold down the nick button, which there is an explainer video that you should see talking about the different buttons. And you're going to hold down that nick button until they complete the command. Okay. As soon as they complete it, you're going to release the nick button. Then you will mark it with a yes, and you will reward them, whether that's with more food, a toy, or love and affection. It just depends on what we're doing and what they use. All right. Once we get to this part of the training, you're going to get more in-depth videos on how to do this throughout the week. Okay. Now, week 3, we're going to continue using the e-collar as described above. This is the time when we just get reps and reps and reps and reps and reps. But then we also start adding in the duration, and this is going to be a key focal point. Okay. We will be doing duration for sure in week 2. But in week 3 is really where we start adding in the distance that we get away from the dog, or the distance that they go doing the command, and the distractions. So the other dogs running around, the toys being tossed, being outside, being at the park, so on and so forth. Okay. And again, as we go through the training, you'll get the videos explaining what we're doing and getting the details. Week 4, this is where things get very tricky and very confusing. All right. We're really going to be pushing those boundaries and testing your dogs. Okay. We're going to be adventuring out into the public more. So this is when we try to do as many field trips as possible each day. But the thing that we work on the most is the 4 combos. So essentially what it comes down to, and again, don't worry about this. This is just here so you see it. But once we get to the week 4, we're going to be changing using the e-collar, not using the e-collar, and giving a reward and not giving a reward. Okay. The reward being food or a toy. I still personally like to always praise like place, yes, good job, you're doing great, fantastic. I'll still keep doing that no matter what. But come week 4 and even part of week 3, we're going to start lowering the amount of rewards that we give. So, commands, a couple different things that we're going to actually tell our dog to do. The first one, and this is not in any specific order, but these are going to be the things that you hear us say, one of which I don't have on here, but off. Off is going to be knock it off. So stop jumping, stop barking, stop jumping on people, chewing on that chair, blah, 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 blah. Off means knock it off, stop doing that. Okay, this is our correction word. Place, this is going to be go to your dog bed, go to this specific object that I'm pointing to, this big boulder, whatever it may be. That's what we're going to do with place. Go there, lay down, and chill out. Another one that we like to use is let's go. Okay, this, I'm writing it out here. This means move with me. Not completely released from command, comma, so stay near me and paying attention. All right. And pay attention. Okay. So yeah, let's go. When we work on thresholds, you'll see in the videos, I'll say, let's go. And that just means move with me. You're not completely free to go run around and do whatever you want. You're staying with me. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Keep paying attention, but you're moving with me and you have as much room on the leash as possible. Heel, this is going to be nicely next to me. We will do on the left side, and I'll explain that once I show you in the teaching. But you're not pulling, you're not lagging way behind me, you're not walking right up against my leg. You're just walking calmly next to me. Okay, you're not reacting, you're not lunging, you're not pulling, barking, sniffing, no marking, nothing. Heel means you're next to me and we're walking. We also use this as our recall command. So a lot of trainers will teach come or even here. I just use heel because the only way a dog can heel is by coming to me and being next to me. So it makes sense just to the least amount of commands that we use, the easier it is for your dog. So, and for owners. But that is heel is my 2-in-1 command. Down, that means lay all the way down. I don't care if they're in that perfect Sphinx look where their arms are perfectly down, and their butts are down, and their legs and their back legs are back, like the Sphinx in Egypt, or they can roll over on their hip. I actually prefer rolling over on the hip because I don't typically train working dogs, and that's the Sphinx look is more for like working dogs or for show. Break, this is a release word. This is when it's break, go be a dog. Go, you're free to be doing whatever you want within reason. Of course, not jumping that, eating poop and digging and all that stuff. Kennel, that's the word I use to go into their crate. Go in there, be calm, and just chill out. And then load up. I do use this as get on the bus. It's not that I specifically get a vehicle, open up the trunk, say load up, jump in the back of my Durango. No, it's loosely for getting on the bus. Most dogs pick it up pretty quickly, and you can use that as getting your vehicle. So, e-collar notes. So the e-collar needs to be taken off for at least 8 hours a day. Okay, that's usually just going to be at bedtime when the dog is being unattended. So when you go to work, anything like that, your dog doesn't need it on. All right. There's another video in this email that talks about all the buttons and everything and how we use it. If you forget anything, look in the manual that's inside the box. The collar needs to be pretty snug, okay? And the prongs need to be on the skin. So like some of these dogs, like I have a Anatolian Shepherd mix that I'm working with, super thick fur, okay? We have to work that collar down and move it around and all this crazy stuff to make sure it's on the skin on their neck. Okay, because if it's just on the fur and that fur creates a barrier, they're not going to feel it. And if they're not feeling it at low numbers, and next thing you know, we're at 70, 80 trying to get them to do something, which we'll catch it. We as a trainers will catch it before we get up there, but you as the owner might not. If we're up in a super high number and your dog's not responding whatsoever, it's probably because it's a bad connection. Worst case scenario is you're at a very high number and your dog turns a certain way and it gets that connection finally. And the first time they feel it, you're at a super high number, 50, 60, 70. Your dog is not going to like it. They're going to yelp probably. They're going to freak out. And now we just kind of, I don't want to say ruined, but we have a lot of backtracking to do. Okay. Make it snug, make it tight. You'll see in the video, I'll even put it on the dog and I'll show you how tight it needs to be, but it shouldn't be able to move very easily. Okay. It does have a bungee, so if they move around, it'll stretch a little bit. Okay. We don't want them to have that bad experience. Okay. Make the controller another accessory of yours. So like women, they wear earrings and necklaces and rings all the time. That controller has a lanyard. Make it another necklace. It's not pretty. Like it's red and it's fun, but it's not. It's this big old dangling thing. It's not pretty. But make sure you have it with you, because when you don't have it with you, you're gonna wish you did. So make sure you're taking it with you and you're using it consistently, all the time. Okay, use it, use it, use it, use it, use it. The more you use it, the faster the training goes. All right. And then again, stating this again. Hold the nick button down immediately after you say the command until it's completed. Even if you know your dog's going to do it without stimulus, until we get to about week 4, that's when we start kind of weaning off of it if necessary, or if we can. Right? Now, your guys' responsibility, you want to get about 20 reps of each command every school day, and then even more on the weekends, 40 to 50 on non-school days. Please call or text if any changes need to be made to scheduling. If you have to skip a day because your dog's sick, if you need a later or an earlier pickup time or drop-off time like we usually do, just let me know as far in advance as possible. And then the big thing is there is a bazillion ways to train a dog. Okay, I'm not saying my way is perfect. It has been the best way for me of implementing to owners and making it as smooth and as easy as possible that I've seen. Okay. Please, please, please do not try to go on YouTube and find something and then bring it in and you start implementing it behind my back and not telling me and all this stuff, because there's going to be one set of rules here at school and then a set of rules at home if you start implementing and doing other things. Okay. The system that's being used has been developed over many of years. If we make tweaks, we can easily confuse the dogs. Okay, and we don't want that. The main reason you've called me, whether you notice it or not, is because your dog is confused, doesn't know what to do. Okay, so we're trying to streamline it and make that as easy as possible, less confusion for your dogs. So you will get a copy of this paper. You'll get a copy of this video, and then just let me know. Okay, again, my phone number. Let me put it down here. Real big and bold. Bold. I don't know if 15 is real big, but my phone number, 314-396-6622. Okay. Reach out. Tyler's direct line. Okay. My direct line, reach out, call me, text me. Let me know if you have any questions or if you need any more help with anything, and I will get back to you within guaranteed time.